Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hard Conversations. I am your host, Dr. Michelle J. Clark. This is more than a podcast, it's a place where we have hard conversations that many people avoid, but everyone needs. My goal is to create a space where honest, respectful, meaningful conversations inspire us to think differently, grow personally, and become better versions of ourselves. Before we get started, if you believe conversations like this matter, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this episode. Your support helps this platform continue to grow and allow these conversations to reach people who may need to hear them. Now, let's get into today's hard conversation. Today's conversation in this episode is titled, When Did Class Become Optional? The Rise of Thirst Culture Among Women. Before you rush to the comments, please just know and understand this conversation is not about attacking all women. It's not about saying every woman is ghetto. It's not about shaming women. It's about asking whether we have become comfortable celebrating behaviors that don't represent the best version of ourselves. So, understand some of what today's conversation, it may make people uncomfortable, and that's okay. Growth has never been comfortable. Let's have the conversation, okay? So, RIP to Mr. Kevin Samuels. Whether you love Kevin or you couldn't stand him, one thing is undeniable. He forced conversations that many people refuse to have. Millions of women tuned in. Many simply disagreed with him, but they still watched. His message wasn't simply about high value men. At its core, he repeatedly challenged women to ask themselves difficult questions about accountability, representation, relationships, expectations, and personal responsibility. Now, I didn't agree with everything Kevin said, right? But I also don't believe everything he said should be dismissed simply because it made people feel uncomfortable. Sometimes uncomfortable conversations reveal uncomfortable truth, and that's okay. So tonight, I'm not asking you to agree with Kevin. I'm asking one question. Have we become so uncomfortable with accountability that we mistake every difficult conversation for an attack? Think about that. So, why has the word ratchet become celebrated? Why has being ratchet become celebrated? There was a time when being described as classy, elegant, educated, respectful was something many women aspired to. Today's media, social media, often rewards it's so funny because it rewards the opposite. The loudest person get the most views. Public arguments are entertainment, right? Fights go viral. Disrespect, keep it going. Or if you're disrespectful, you're keeping it real. Is that behavior once considered embarrassing is now celebrated as authenticity. Why? someone might someone might even say there is nothing wrong with being yourself, and I agree. Being yourself is different from glorifying dysfunction. Authenticity shouldn't mean disrespecting self or others, you know? So why do some women compete for male attention instead of building character? Some women spend more time trying to choose than becoming worth choosing, right? And then validation, we talked about that before. Validation with followers, likes, the DMs, comments. Attention feels good, but attention doesn't automatically create healthy relationships. Character still matters. It should matter. Someone may argue women dress up because it makes them feel confident. Absolutely. I love dressing up. Confidence is healthy. However, the question becomes, who are you trying to impress? Yourself or strangers online? Those are two different motivations here. Two different. Has social media rewarded desperation? The algorithms don't reward peace. They reward controversy. You know, they reward drama. They reward sexual appeal. You know, half naked women around here twerking. You know, you got the norm of going outside showing everything. Conflicts. The more outrageous the behavior, the more attention people receive. And eventually people, you know, they begin performing instead of living. Someone could argue people should be free to post whatever they want. Okay, go ahead. Absolutely do it. Do whatever you feel you must. Freedom does exist, but freedom doesn't eliminate consequences. We have normalized today's shapes that younger generations believe is acceptable for tomorrow. And that's not something we need to get comfortable with. Being feminine, being replaced by performance. Some women no longer ask, who am I? Instead, they ask, what gets attention? That's the difference. Being feminine doesn't mean weak, right? It doesn't mean silence either. It means possessing qualities like grace, emotional intelligence, confidence, kindness, self-respect, self-control, strength. Performance is different. Performance says, look at me. Ooh, look at me. I'm half naked over here. Look at me. I'm twerking over here. Being feminine often says, I don't have to announce my value. Someone might even say, there isn't only one way to be feminine. I agree. There's several ways. Feminine looks different across cultures, across personalities. Absolutely. The one question isn't whether women should act or we should all act the same. That's not the question. The question is whether attention has become more important than substance. And we lack some substance out here. I don't even want to get into that. The substance is a lot of quantity out here. But the quality, let me say it again, is a lot of quantity of people, but the quality, we don't even want to get into the reading levels. A lot of these women, they have all of this, the BBLs, the fake noses, the lightening of the skin, the long eyelashes, the weave down to their feet. It's plenty of that, right? But is it substance? Are some women confusing confidence with arrogance? Confidence doesn't require an audience. Confidence doesn't have to consistently remind people how beautiful, success, educated, desirable they are. Arrogance needs the validation. That's when people are arrogant. It needs that validation. Confidence doesn't. There's a difference between the two. Okay? Some may even argue women have been told to shrink themselves, and absolutely, that is true. Many women have. But healthy confidence doesn't require putting other women down. Not putting other women down. I'm simply speaking on what social media is projecting with the trajectory of what a classy woman or what these women out here should be doing. That's not it. Twerking, BBLs, and doing all these things. Okay? Real confidence speaks quietly. Insecurity usually speaks the loudest. I think Denzel once said from his movie American Gangster. He said something I never forget that part in the movie. He said the loudest one is the weakest in the room. The loudest person is the weakest in the room. Remember that. Again, I'm going to talk about accountability. Why is accountability so difficult to hear? Why does that make people so uncomfortable to hear truth? I'm trying to understand that. You know, I'm trying. Accountability feels like rejection when identity becomes attached to the behavior. If someone says the behavior isn't healthy, some people hear the total opposite. You're not valuable. That's not what was said. It's not the same thing. Behavior can change. Your worth doesn't. Some may even respond. Women are constantly being criticized. We are. We're constantly being criticized, absolutely. But women have historically been criticized regarding appearances, careers, motherhood, relationships, absolutely. But that doesn't mean every criticism is automatically wrong. A lot of times, some criticism is unfair, but some criticism help us grow too. If you want the man, you can't sit here and say, I'm the queen and then everybody should want me. But then you come out the house and, you don't, you know, exhibit what it is that you're saying that you want and need. You're half naked. Wisdom is learning the difference. And that's what we need to do more of too. We need to understand who we are. And if you feel like you need a BBL, you need to change that, then you have some issues that you're not comfortable with self. We talked about that episode 3, episode 2 and 3. Most people aren't comfortable with what they see in the mirror. They're not happy with self. That's why you got to go out and do all those things. You're insecure. You're insecure because you're changing it. I challenge you to take your weave out for 2 months. Take them eyelashes off for 2 months. Wear your real hair. If you're so bad, if you're so this and you're so that, be who God created you to be. I want that. Let's try that. Take them. I mean, y'all don't even understand. Most of the eyelashes and men can't stand anyway because they dumb, they long, and it looks crazy. Look like clowns. What examples are young girls learning from influencers? Young girls are definitely watching. They're learning what gets rewarded. Luxury, the body exposures, being naked. You got all these celebrities. I mean, the BET award walks has it's gotten so ghetto to me. Everybody up there half naked. You might as well come in panties and bras. Why? You're supposed to be a celebrity. You got everybody paying attention to you. You need more because you're not even comfortable with self. So you don't have to be high value. You could be low, but you can still have confidence. I mean, wasn't Lizzo talking about her weight was so this and so that, and she was so confident, but she don't turn into the hair, the wig don't change to blonde. You don't got on that pill that everybody taking, looking crazy in the face. I don't even want to. It's no judgment. We talking about what she said. I'm speaking on what she said. And now look at her now. The face is looking a little different, looking like bobbleheads with a big head and the face all sucked in. Come on now. But we look at, we're teaching what the drama, we teaching what people, what these young girls are looking at. Oh, so I need to be half naked. Beyonce's doing it. I need to come on, on the stage with a bathing suit, basically, on some tights and heels. Body exposure, drama, fighting, validation, and more validation, instant fame. Very few influencers teach substance, integrity, financial literacy. They don't teach these things. Healthy relationships, what it looked like. They don't teach chivalry, emotional regulation. They don't teach this stuff. Right? So if you have a huge following, why not try to help someone do and be better? Why not teach leadership? Why not teach that kind of thing? Those things. And someone could argue parents should carry the primary responsibility, absolutely. But influencers also know that they have the influence. With influence comes responsibility. So you can't want to say and profess to be this celebrity and this rapper and this singer. That comes with the territory. It's your job. If you've been blessed to make this money, then you need to touch someone out there since you have all this influence and help. Not, it kills me. Do you want your daughter out there showing? I mean, ask any guy. Do you want your daughter showing all her goods? He's a fool if he say yes. So the parents and the influence both can be true. But we have to do better. Is attention becoming more valuable than respect? Sad to say, attention is temporary, guys. Respect lasts. Attention gets views. Absolutely. Respect opens doors. Attention can attract strangers. Respect builds lasting relationships. Many people chase attention because it's immediate. Respect takes years to earn. And that's what you guys need to understand. Some may even argue attention can create opportunities. Absolutely can. Attention has helped many entrepreneurs and entertainers and creators build their careers. Of course. Look at Ray J and Kim Kardashian. What did that do? No judgment, just speaking. You have to put out a tape to get attention. It's crazy. It's like I look at some of these things and I'm like, we got a lot of circuses around here. We got a lot of clowns. Clown. You look crazy. You look like when you have these pants on, it literally looked like you're carrying a soggy diaper that needs change. The legs this skinny. And then you got the ones that, you go into the gym acting as if, but everybody knows. Again, going back to confidence. If you're so confident, why do you have to do these things to yourself? If you're so this, the issue isn't attention itself, though. The issue is what someone is willing to sacrifice to get it. We already know a lot of people sell their souls. You already know where you're going. You sold your soul. If attention costs your dignity and credibility and self-respect, self-worth, it's worth asking whether the price is too high. As we close today's conversation, I want to leave you with this, guys. This episode was never about saying all women are ghetto and thirsty. A lot of them are. It's about asking whether we've become comfortable celebrating behaviors that don't serve us, our families, our next generation, our babies, our young women watching us. The truth is accountability is uncomfortable. It always have been. That's why I have these hard conversations. Do not come on my channel if you can't. The mirror, right? You need to take accountability. Look at yourself in the mirror. Assess yourself. But truth has always been difficult. It always been. It's not going to change. But discomfort doesn't automatically mean disrespect, though. Sometimes the conversation that we're resisting is the most one that we need to have that greatest potential to help us grow. Whether you with everything I said today or strongly disagree, I hope you ask yourself at least one honest question. Who am I becoming? And does the way I present myself align with the woman I truly want to be? Class is not about how much money we have, right? It's not about the neighborhood you grew up in. It's not about the clothes you wear, the car you drive. Class is reflected on your character. It's reflected on your self-respect. It's reflected in how you treat other people how you carry yourself, and what you choose to represent when no one is telling you what to do. That's the key. Social media trends will change. Viral moments will come and go. Trust me. Attention fades. But integrity, character, dignity, self respect, those things never go out of style. Trust and believe. So instead of asking, how can I get more attention? Maybe you should start asking, how can I become a better woman? Because when you become a better woman, you won't have to chase the validation. That's the whole point. The right opportunities, the right relationship, the right people will recognize your value without you having to perform for them. We get on social media, we're performing clowns in a circus. Oh, let me put on my wig. Let me put on my wig. Let me put on these long eyelashes. It looks so stupid. I'm sorry, guys. I have to have the hard conversation. These BBLs with your thin little legs and your flab everywhere. Just to get attention, validation. So again, you will start getting the attention you need. The conversation I wanted us to have today, again, is not to shame women. It's not to divide women. The whole point of this hard conversation is to encourage women to demand more from themselves because we are capable of so much more. Okay. And today's conversation, if it challenged you, maybe that's not a bad thing. Sometimes growth begins with the hard conversations. That's the whole point of this podcast. But again, thank you for joining me for another episode of Hard Conversations. And if today's conversation made you think, challenged your perspective, or gave you something to reflect on, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear this discussion. I will also love to hear from you in the comments as well. And again, I'll leave you with this. When did class become optional? And what do you believe we can do to restore dignity, restore self-respect, and accountability in our communities and for our young babies? Okay? They're watching you. So until next time, you guys make sure you stay blessed. And don't be afraid to have the hard conversations because they just might change your life. And I thank you guys. And again, until next time.